When all hope is lost, when you're hot drop without a gun, you need a hero. Maybe not the hero you want, but the hero you deserve. It's Dero Bear and the Superman Punch of Doom. That ends predictably well. Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too, I'm Bushka. Welcome back to channel, bringing the pump, the action. I've had a late coffee, boys and girls. Watch out, I could go a little bit ham. Today we're going to be talking about the Vector. Now, I've particularly become enamored of this weapon of late for a couple of reasons, a variety of reasons. Veritable cornucopia, a plethora, many reasons. The whole gist of the Vector for me has been my journey to attempt to rebalance the issue I've had with the demon that is desync or desynchronization, which is when you have a higher ping, someone else comes around a corner, to you, they're not there. They're not there, you can't see them, but they've already seen you and they're drilling you, and by the time you catch up and you start firing, they're ahead on the damage stakes. Well, that's why I love a gun like the Vector. And I've been working on the Vector, the S12K, always the Mark 14 if I can get a hold of it. Because what happens with the Vector is it outputs damage so fast. If you can hit people with the Vector, it will generally kill them faster than the gun they're using. Because most people tend to use a gun like the AKM, the M416, the QBZ, the SCAR-L, the AUG A3, all these 5.56 ARs and 7.62 weapons like the AKM, the DP28, and they are terribly slow to kill in comparison to a gun like the Vector. The Vector's time to kill on a level 2 vest, which is pretty impressive, is 0.27 seconds. 0.27 seconds. The time to kill for Mark 4, an M416, for instance, is 0.34. The same with the SCAR-L, the QBZ, the M6, the AUG A4, all these 5.56 ARs, and the AKM is 0.315. They have different things that recommend them. And for that reason, I'm not going to go into this as a comparison test. But the fact of the matter is that up close and personal, the Vector is just about as good a weapon as you're going to pick up outside of a crate drop. The other gun that I will run quite often in this situation is a Beryl M762, which does about 12% more damage than a normal 5.56 AR, slightly less than the AKM and the Groza in a single shot, but it fires at the same rate of fire as an M416, so its time to kill is actually 0.255, slightly, ever so slightly faster than a Vector. But the control that you can get from a Vector is all different kinds of awesome. And as you can see in these clips, even with a 3x scope out to quite a range, the Vector is still just a wonderful, wonderful killing machine. And the closer you get, the better it gets. Now, there are various negatives with the Vector, and I'll be the first to admit that once you get into the wide open spaces of Erangel, or you're in a TPP situation where you can really pick and choose the engagements you take, and you don't take as many engagements as you do in FPP, where you are literally right in each other's face, then you might be looking for a more diverse and a weapon more capable, more versatile of handling more situations in a more efficient manner, like an M416 or an AUG or maybe a DP28 or one of these guns. But in my quest for fixing desync, I came across some outrageously good results running this and the S12K. And I found that running this on Sanhok improved against particularly players from like Japan and China and guys that have very, very low server pings. My performance against those players went through the roof. Now, those guys are generally going to be running 5.56 ARs. They just do as a rule. And you run the Vector or an S12K, and it really rebalances the equation in terms of desync. And that makes it more likely that you're going to win. You have less of those situations where you come around a corner, press the button, hit a guy 15 times with a red splash everywhere, and then you fall over and you're like, dude, I just nailed that guy. Why did I lose? Well, the Vector wrecks so hard and so fast that it takes care of that. Now, I've always had a huge crush on some of the other SMGs, like the UMP, for instance. The Uzi is another one that is absolutely spectacular in the tight. It's less damage, 24, but its rate of fire is insane, 0.044. per second for each round. But its time to kill is basically the same as a Vector, and its gun handling is nowhere near as exciting as a Vector's gun handling is. The Vector, though, has some massive drawbacks, and it would be unfair of me not to mention this. I have died quite a few times trying to run the Vector without an extended magazine. Now, without an extended magazine, this gun is just a pee-poor effort because you do not have the wherewithal to knock targets. Like, think of it like this. If you're running against a level 3 vest, now heaven forbid this is the worst case scenario, and you have to clear that target, it will take you 7 shots of a Vector. Now, if you've only got 13 shots in the clip and you need to pre-fire as you come around a corner, you better hit with every single shot, and none of them, you know, you can't be hitting, you know, limb shots and hand shots and all this. You got to really nail this stuff. And you can see at range, it doesn't really ride up that much. Like, it's pretty good. But back to my point. Yeah, without the extended magazine, it is a far less effective weapon. And that's one of the reasons why you will quite often find I will run a Vector, I'll pick it up, and then I will just wait until I pick up an extended magazine before I change over and start running this voracious little number all to myself. You can see how much you've got to lead the target by here. Even at just like 50 meters, it is a hell of a big lead. And its shell velocity is renowned to be quite slow, and that's spot on. I like to run it with a red dot or a 3 times. In general, I will run it with an SMG suppressor, and that's another key component of why the Vector, and indeed a lot of the SMGs, are quite handy to run as your primary weapon. They are a quieter weapon than your 5.56 ARs and your AKMs and your Grozers and all that kind of thing, which, let's be honest, those things, it's like a marching band lighting up anytime you fire them. The Vector with a suppressor on it is just quiet as a mouse. I'll run it with a vertical foregrip or a light grip, and I will obviously get the benefit of the tactical stock and the extended magazine, and suddenly you are kicking all kinds of ass. There is one other thing which not a lot of people talk about with the Vectors and the ARs and everything, but if you are running in an open field with an AR as opposed to with an SMG, you're going to go slower. It's just a fact of life. I've tested this before. I did a PUBG Mythbusters way back when the channel started, and the SMG is actually just lights out. It'll keep up with a person running without holding a weapon at all, quite comfortably when you're in the sprint. So the SMG gives you a slight mobility increase when you're moving around the map. It's quieter, so there's a better element of stealth involved. You're not going to get caught out as much by people listening in for gunshots. And it also is just sensational in terms of gun handling. You do not ride up with this thing that much. And I've often wondered, because I've looked at people running this on PC, and I've found them to get a lot more recoil, it seems, than I'm getting with the Vector in PUBG Mobile as we go over and rescue our good amigo Swiss Cheezel in the... Oh, and this, what about this bug at the moment? I've noticed this a few times lately. You can actually, when you're reviving and get shoved into a wall, you just see through the wall. It's weird. I don't understand it. But anyway, a lot of bugs. Luckily, we're going to get parrots to fly around with us, you know, in a patch real soon. Can't wait for that. So, the Vector. This could be the answer to what's been a question you didn't even know needed asking. What gun should I be using in FPP to give myself a really, really good chance at clearing targets quickly, efficiently, and helping battle the battle that is ever going against Desync. Helping fight the battle that is ever ongoing against Desync. Swiss goes down again. Come on, buddy. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Here I come. Ahead. I'm not going to leave you, Swizzle. I'm going to get you across the line here, baby. Enemies ahead. Poor old Swizz got stuck on the left flank, and all the bad guys were on the left flank. It's quite funny at the time. Yeah, no, he was laughing about it too. He was really, really impressed. I hope you guys are liking these videos. If you want all those damage numbers, the rate of fire, everything, that's on my Discord server. The link is in the description below. I've also just done a massive video on how to win with high ping. And the Vector and the S12K featured heavily in that, so you should probably go and look at that. I'll put a link in here for that. You should probably go watch that. And I've got a lot of videos like this. I hope you guys enjoy them. We couldn't get Swizzle up there. You're going to see a little revive, a little heal up here behind the tree. Very clutch. after we get the knock. We pre-fire, and this is something you couldn't do if you didn't have the extended magazine. But he waltzes in there. We just get away with that. Move to the next tree. Always relocating. Get down, get down, get down. Get that. And he's shooting at the old tree, thank God. Using the med kit. Just adjusting, adjusting, adjusting. And then we're in like Flynn. Enjoy, boys and girls. Look after yourselves. Stay safe in the battlefield. Eat your veggies. Be nice to your mum. Walk the dog. And as always, bye for now. Au revoir. Tres Bonds, baby. Tres Bonds.